All right, everybody. All right, it is Saturday morning. We just did a great discussion on the future of the stream. I hope you guys stay tuned for that. It's going to go on YouTube as soon as the stream is over, so you guys can check that out there. But yeah, today we're probably just going to play some Lightseekers, right? We're just going to build some fun decks. Go on to probably casual if you guys want. We can check out ranked. We'll play some like the tournament winning deck lists. If people really want to see competitive play, I'll build my own Sicario version of decks for the next like 21 days this season is going on. I am silver too, so it's not like it's going to be that competitive unless I face only people who are like platinum right now that are on. But we'll see what's going on. The one thing that I wanted to do, there was a comment on Discord, on the Discord channel, saying someone wanted to build a Grimus deck. Now, George took it upon himself to build that for him, and I thought that was great. But he added, I don't know what the card is. He added a card in there. I'm trying to think of the name now, because the guy, I commented to be like, Poise Mercenary. He added Poise Mercenary in there. Now, the guy said, hey, Poise Mercenary isn't working. It only lets me remove one buff. Is it only going to do a max of 4 damage? And just instinctively, with my knowledge of the game, I went, are you using Grimus? Because if you are, that's probably why it's only working. And the dude called me a psychic. Grandpa Socks, I think is what his name is. He called me a psychic. He's like, how did you know? I was like, intuition of the game. I hope that shows how knowledgeable I am at the game and all this stuff. But hey, I thought I'd also take it upon myself to help him build a Grimus deck. If I don't know what George Jester's was, I haven't gone and actually looked at his deck list. But I said I'd give it a shot. I'd give it a shot. Obviously, Poise Mercenary. Now, if you read this card and you know what Grimus does, you will understand why this card is not good in a Grimus deck, right? Because it says remove all poison buffs to the right of this one. Increase the damage for 3 by each buff that was removed. With Grimus, you can only remove 1 poison buff at a time. So this will only always do 4. When potentially this has a potential of doing like upwards of, I don't know, 6 to 10 damage. Like this card could be really good. But yeah, it's just in a Grimus deck where you're not allowed to remove stuff is not that good. Now I will also be going through, I'll try and make it a classic format as well. Because hey, if I'm making a deck, I'm making this thing classic so that you guys can use it in the next season, right? That's what everyone wants to do. So that's what we'll do. So, as we jump into this, Grimus. Ooh, I can get some shards. There we go. Sweet. Now, Grimus. Grimus is an awesome card. He's a great hero. Kind of undervalued in my opinion. A lot of people like the premise of him, but a lot of people are still like, okay, how do I build one? Because I obviously want to go really heavy on the poison buffs, right? Because that's what he's benefiting from. His ability, no more than 1 of your poison buffs can be removed or returned in 1 turn. Now, that also includes you. So, mind you, if you have to remove or return buffs for some reason, you can't really more than 1 poison buff. So, we're going to put... Oh, I'm only looking at the cards. Ha ha ha. Let's build a deck. Okay? Let's build a deck. Let's go off Grimus. Let's work with him. Let's work with Grimus, okay? Now, right now, that means, hey, I probably want to add a lot of poison cards, right? I want to do a lot of poison things. Draga Scorcher. Draga Scorcher. Now, Noxian Assassin. Noxian Assassin is an amazing card, but it's also getting rotated out. So this is only going to be a 1-of. But this card, in my opinion, before it was retired, like made Grimus incredibly insane. If you had 2 of these out, you could really only remove 1, and every buff you removed dealt 8 damage. So Noxian Assassin is a card that you're going to want to just look for. You're going to want it any day of the week, right? Putrid Infestation, obviously, poison damaging cards. Put that in there. Pestilent Spectre. I'll kind of hold off on to. It's like Putrid Infestation in the kind of what are the words I'm trying to say? In the reverse sense, where it's 1/1/3 as opposed to 3/1/1/1. That one, I feel like this one is better to play because it has an immediate impact on the board, and the rest of it's kind of just trickle down damage. Spectre Widow, poison, incredibly powerful damaging buff, right? Love it. I think it's awesome. Toxic Frog, I believe, is getting rotated out, so we'll kind of go back to that. Vile Brew Hexer. I actually want to try and include some of this, because with us doing consistent trickle-down damage, right? Us consistently poking them for like 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, all this stuff like that, people are going to want to heal. And they're going to want to try and get the best value out of their buffs, out of their buff removal, and all this stuff. Vile Brew Hexer, in case you guys didn't know, your target cannot receive healing when it's on this corner. It's a clunky corner, so as soon as it rotates there, it's stuck there. The only way it gets removed is when they heal, because when they heal, deal damage to them equal to any healing they receive. And then you draw a card when this expires. So this card, I like strongly think is going to be an amazing tech card in this Grimus deck. Because basically what it's going to do is it's going to sit there, and it's going to be like, okay, well, now I can't heal. And if I do heal, I take damage. But then, like, if I want to remove a buff, I have to spend my buff removal on the one Vilebrute Hexer, who's really just kind of like preventing me from getting back in this game for healing for a bit. So like it's one of those just really big tech cards to really slow your opponent down. You're probably not going to want to lay it early in game. It's probably going to be one of those cards you hold on to, play when they're maybe at like anywhere between 12 and below health. That's when they're going to try and want to be defensive, want to heal. So yeah, you slap that Vilebrute Hexer down and you say, hey, what are you going to do? How are you going to get back into this? This card used to be really fun back when Emergency System was a thing, when it wasn't getting rotated out, because they slapped that down, but like, yeah, you can't attack me, and if you do, I heal for 7. You're like, okay, cool, Vilebrute Hexer. And then it's like, oh no. Oh, no. And Vilebrute Hexer would rotate, then you'd attack them, they would heal for 7. Oh, wait, no, they take 7. Both those buffs go away, you draw a card, and then you actually attack them. So like the whole synergy just blew up in their face. It was really fun against decks like Granite, where that's where their big defense or big healings were. Any card that ran the tech healing, it was just a super fun tech card that I loved playing against people who played Emergency System. No, it was Emergency Generator or Emergency System. I think it was Emergency System was the tech card that I'm thinking of. Now I gotta look. Now I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't know what it is. Emergency System. There we go. Emergency System. So yeah, that's my philosophy on that. Now this is also going to be a very, he is poison oriented, right? Now what I'm also thinking here is, I mean, if you look at this, poison has a lot of undead cards, right? So undead, Putrid Infestation is a spirit, but Spectral Widow is an undead. Corvid Shade is an undead. If I wanted to add Pestilent Spectre, that's an undead. So, kind of in that sense, obviously Putrid Shaman, we're putting Putrid Shaman in here. System, D-Milan, thank you, yeah. Putrid Shaman is a card that's getting retired, but just one in here is just an impressively powerful card. It's just so good. We could add Witch Doctor for burst damage. We could also just add Mantic Spitter, just to make it so we're not discarding cards, which I think is fine. But also a card that I really just want to add, Corrupted Spirit. Really good. 3 damage card draw. We're totally approving of all the card draw, right? Just card draw. Live it, love it, gotta have it. So now, obviously, we have 17 poison cards. 17. This is subject to change. This is not, I mean, one Mantic Spitter will go down to 16. It is subject to change. So don't take this as the be-all, end-all. Cards that I also like in this style of deck. Where are we looking? There. Venom Feeder. Venom Feeder. 3 healing, move 1 discarded poison action card to your hand. Hey man, this is a straight heavy poison deck. Not a whole lot of healing, a lot of poke damage. This is just really good value, right? The healing is kind of like, oh, okay, but whatever. But getting back your poison buffs after you've played them means that you can play them a lot. Means you can get back Noxian Assassin, you can get back Putrid Shaman, you can get back all these specific ones that you really like need, right? Like that's just really good. This deck is also going to feel kind of more aggressively. So what I am going to do is add in some Umbron Barkeeps. You're going to be laying a lot of cards in your hand. You want card draw out of that. Umbron Barkeep, I think, is just an amazing card to do such a thing. So we'll go ahead and add those in right away. Now into the shadows. Into the shadows. Really, with our shadow cards, we don't really want... obviously, Shadow Puppet. Buff removal is always insane no matter what anyone says. But, I mean, outside of... if you really want to get the best value out of Grimus's ability, you don't want to have, really, other buffs out there other than Shadow, right? Because the moment you do, their buff removal becomes, you know, hey, I can move your Shadow buff and your Poison buff. So they can still get 2 buff removals. They have to pick and choose between the Poison ones. So, like, if you play your Shadow ones, you really want to make sure that they're getting the best value. My thought about this is that obviously I was going through and I was seeing there's a lot of poison undead ones. To be able to restart your undead buffs could just potentially keep a lot of your poison buffs on board. They can remove Veil Rider and one of your poison buffs. They can certainly do that. Which is why I'm kind of up in the air to see how well it does. If people, you know, will try and just remove one poison buff at a time, or what potentially they'll do. So I'm going to leave it up in the air. It'll probably be like one of the 29th cards if I do decide to go the undead route as we go into this. But that being said, with all of our shadow cards being more or less, Necro Dreadling I think is going to be a really good one, being more or less just our tech cards to really bring cards back, be our buff removal, stuff like that, is really going to help us in the sense where we just mostly really want them to be action cards. Or not action cards, like defend and attack cards, right? That's what we want. That's what we'd like to do. I am thinking maybe just add one Spirit Gate. It is one of the cards that is retired, but Spirit Gate's, it's just a really good card, especially depending on what our combos are. Oh, actually, Spirit Gate's not retired. Why did I think it was retired? Spirit Gate is not retired. That's amazing. That's incredible, guys. I mean, yeah, why not? This game is going to feel a lot more aggressive, so Spirit Gate, you might not even need it to move your combos back. But it's just one of those, if you use your combos really early, you're going into the long game. It's a nice tech card to have at least one of in there, I think. So now, what do we have here? We have 6 Shadow, 3 Undead, 3 more slots. Let's try and go back to the Undead suit we have over here to kind of balance it out a little bit. I feel like a Defiler could be good. I don't know how my buffs are going to last on the board, though. I feel like without the ability to re-rotate them, Defiler is only going to hit for maybe like 5 or 6. Could still be good. Could be good. I don't know. But I feel like there's other potential, right? Like Life Leech is just a really good tech card. Really slows down or mitigates their hand size. Shrine of Death is not really... Like, Shrine of Death, I wish there was a way to make Shrine of Death a good card, but I have yet to see it actually be played. I think it's still, like, all these, yeah, none of them have any experience for me. And I have 25 cards of this copy. But, like, Shrine of Death, there's not a whole lot of big hitting ones for Dread or really anything else outside of, like, Nature. Like, 3, maybe 4 is the biggest corner, so you can heal for 4. And if you want to do that, why not just run... oh, where is it? Soul Thief. Why not just run Soul Thief, right? So... that's kind of what I'm thinking on that. We're probably going to add some wall bones, just some defensive stuff. Do we want to add 3? Do we want to add 3? Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious about that. What do I do here? I think 2 is fine. I feel like we're much more aggressive, so going on the whole defensive side is not going to help us really that much because we want to try and end the game before it gets into the mid and late game with this deck. That's what we want to do. So maybe now we're just going back into the poison, get in some attack cards, some just really heavy damage hitting ones. Mantic Spitter. We actually may want to take some of this stuff out so that we can go heavy on the whole damaging side, is what I'm thinking. So maybe we take Spirit Gate out, put in another Mantic Spitter. Man, I'm looking at this. Maybe even Wall of Bones is just something we don't want. Maybe 2 Venom Feeders. Maybe 3 is a little too ambitious. Because we should be killing them before we get stuff back from our discard pile. Is what I'm thinking. Necro Dreadling also is on the same boat. I think maybe just one of these is fine. And then we can add in like a Witch Doctor. I'm thinking 2 Mantic Spitters, 2 Witch Doctors, make it even, so if we draw them both, we can land both in the same turn. Have a really good 11 burst damage along with our buffs. So it looks really, really slim right here. But our potential with this is we want to get card draw. We want to consistently have board presence with our buffs that are going to stick there for a few turns. All this stuff. With them not being able to remove 2 buffs at once, Crazed Bomber almost becomes terrible value for him. We're strictly sticking to our poison buffs. Really the only good buff removal is like a Pathfinder or a Reckless Spirit, which is just a 1-for-1 most of the time. So being able to lay 2 buffs, passing, drawing 2 cards, as our buffs will sit there for 3 or 4 corners, I think is perfectly fine. And then we'll have really good action cards with our Mantic Spitters and our Witch Doctors to just really hit home. Wall of Bones is still, it's like one of those that I'm not even entirely sure I want to have. what other death cards do I have for this that I could possibly add? Because Wall of Bones, like I said, is one of those cards where as soon as I lay it down, is only going to be beneficial in decks that I'm taking consistent poke damage. But I feel like I'm going to want like a race deck, right? I want to be a deck there where I don't really care too much about how much damage I'm taking. I just want to be able to deal that damage to you as fast as possible. And if I'm looking at death cards, I'm thinking like Life Leecher is fine. It's 1 damage, but the enemy moves a card from their hand. So it slows them down while my turns are slow. I could add in Soul Thief, 4 healing, 2 damage, stuff like that. Just get some action cards in there, 4 damage. And actually, with me being as aggressive as it is, we'll add in 1 Defiler. We'll see how Defiler really does in this deck. And then maybe... what do I really want to do here? Sorry guys, this is the whole thinking process. This is the whole deck building thinking process. So just because I mean Devour, like I said, well, first of all, it's not gonna be good for him because you can only move 1 buff at a time and only heal for 5. So it's not as strong. You could even just run a Soul Thief and almost get a better value out of it than Devour. So Devour is not good for this deck, in case anyone's wondering. Just putting that out there to fill in some blank space. I know I'm just talking a whole bunch right now, so feel free to be like, dude, just you're okay. It's okay, man. Just deep breaths, deep breaths. I'm almost thinking about just adding in a 3rd Umbron Barkeep for card draw. Because, I mean, we're going to be dumping our hands so consistently, right? Just so unbelievably consistently. Our death cards, Venom Feeder and... what was the other one? I wish I knew them offhand. Defiler. We're really only going to want to use maybe for like combo payments. They're really situational cards that we're going to hold on to. So being able to hold on to these cards for that 1 or 2 combo payments is perfectly fine. It really doesn't need a whole lot. Now, when we go into our combos, obviously, Burst of Venom. Burst of Venom we're still going to include, right? Burst of Venom, 2 poison, 8 damage with a potential of 10 damage. You can't remove up to 2. You can only remove 1 because of Grimus' ability, but still 10 burst damage. And in this consistent poking damage, you want something that has really good burst potential to just straight up kill them. Like, that's so good. Venom Veins. Hey, look at that, guys. A poison buff. Something that can't be removed multiple times. And then you just deal damage to your opponent when you're attacked. Really going to slow them down. Crippling Toxin. Ooh. Oh, okay, I can't. That's why. Crippling Toxin. Deal 1 damage to target. Their healing is reduced by 6. It's a poison buff. Or double poison. Will help pay for all this. Poison Spray. 8 damage. Reduce the target's healing on top of the discard pile while it's there. Once again, double poison. I think these buffs are going to be super helpful just to pay for one another. Toxic Haunt, I strongly want to put in here. Not only because it'll pay for like every single combo, but also because if I, for some ever reason, do get it out, with all the buffs that I'm going to have, I think this is another one I can't, yeah. With all the other buffs that I have, this thing is going to be hitting for a lot. And then if they try and remove it, they'll take 3. So I think these are some really, really strong cards. I almost just want all my combos to be able to pay for one another, as opposed to putting in some efficient ones. Oh, there it is. I was like, wait, no, yeah, wait. Why is... Hey, what's going on here? Can I do this? Can I fix that? That was really weird. That was very weird. There we go. I was like, where are these other combos? Where are my 2 poison ones? Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd want to run Contamination or Obfuscation. I have to look and see if what combos of these are actually being retired, because I want to say I'm fine. Crippling Toxin is being retired, and that's the only one in this list. So Crippling Toxin is the retired one that we're running. We can take out Crippling Toxin and maybe put in, like, Contamination over it. But I think Crippling Toxin is just going to be a really, really strong, powerful one to put out there. Like I said, our Death cards and our Shadow cards are the tech ones that we're just going to be holding on to almost all game. We'll see if we need to add more. Yeah, Necro Dreadling we're not going to want to use as often. I'm sitting here maybe I should add more, like 1 or 2 more Shadow and Death cards to really round out that thing. But I want to say that this deck is going to run almost entirely on its action cards, and the combos are just going to be there for combo payments with one another. And it's not going to be a deck where you win with your combos. It's going to be a deck where you win with your action cards. That's what I feel like this deck is going to do. So here we go. Here's what we have. I do want to go back and see what other cards are being retired. Oh, Witch Doctor is being retired. So I can't have 2 Witch Doctors in here. Good thing I looked. Good thing I looked. I did not know that card was being retired. Did not know that. So we can add in... Do we add in a Noxious Mantis? It is being retired, but it's like a nice tech card where if I lay it, they can't heal, so it's one of those late game cards. They can't remove it unless they want to waste major buff removal. Maybe it is? It's 2 damage less than a Mantic Spitter, but I can lay them both in the same turn. I mean, 1 Toxic Frog could also just be really nice. It is some heavy damage. Mind you, it does wait a few corners, but... Man. So many choices for just pure damage. I almost, like, I don't want to add another Mantic Spitter because I want to be able to lay 2 cards in 1 turn if I have that opportunity, is what I'm thinking. Swamp Peddler's also another one. I could add Blight Wraith. Or Cauldron Wraith. These are just some really good fun cards. I'm also thinking like maybe even Assassin's Guild, but I don't really care too much about it because I have Supremacy over Poison. Like I said, I'm not running really anything where I want to get double Supremacy. It is just card draw, but I have 3 Umbron Barkeeps. So that card, I'm not valuing that much in this deck. Do I add Blight Wraith? Like, if I'm going against aggro, I'm just valuing it as a 3 damage card. Do I add Crude Exterminator as a nice tech? I'm a fan of Crude Exterminator. I really am. I think Beasts are some very, very powerful cards. Crude Exterminator runs really well against Thunder Slugs. Thunder Slugs can remove 2 of your poison buffs because they'll remove 1. Next turn, they'll remove another. It is a Beast, so I can use it to remove that. You know, a lot of, Storm... Even Mountain has Beasts. Astral has Beasts. Nature has Beasts. Like, a lot of the alignments have Beast cards that are just really good to remove. So I think, like, 1 Crude Exterminator in here could be fine. Maybe 2 in the future if we really wanted to go heavy on it. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. Now, how many undead cards are in here? I just want to take a look. 3, 4, 5, 6. Really, that's it. I did not add. Well, the Pestilence Spectre is an undead buff that I would replace with Putrid Infestation if I was going the more undead route. Covetous Shade. Covetous Shade is one of those where like I feel could be good in this deck, but it takes too long to get the value out of it. So running a Covetous Shade would put this deck more into the mid-range, where I want this to be a very aggressive style deck. I want to get as much value out of it as possible immediately, which is why the Barkeeps are there, which is why the Corrupted Spirits are there. It's instant effect on the board, drawing me cards, keeping my pace up, kind of that thing. So, I think this is fine. I want to say like Defiler is not going to do much in this deck. I really want to say Defiler is not going to do much in this deck, and that I should be looking for something else with the undead, or with the death. But there's only one way to find out. We'll see how many buffs we have on board consistently. I know Defiler was really good in like Sicario when you had consistent buffs out in play and all that stuff. So I think we'll try this. Call it my Grimus test. And we'll play this game. We'll play this game. Now I want to say like my... Okay. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. One sec, guys. I have to... I was like, why is no volume coming over? And it's because... Can I get to my volume settings, please? It's coming through my speakers. not my headphones. So you guys aren't hearing any sound. I was like, oh god, what's going on? Why can't I change my volume? What's going on here? I want to change my volume. Oh my god. I apologize, everyone. Little technical difficulties here. I thought I had this. Here we go. There we go. Now we can get a little more professional in the stream. Flawlessly executed. Thank you very much for these technical difficulties, everybody. Alright, we'll jump into some casual with this Grimus deck. We'll jump into some casual, see how it does, see what we need to change, kind of re-status quo ourselves as well. So, once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you missed it, I will have a YouTube video up later today about all the changes that are coming in. If you guys were not here for them, hopefully some people were. You can discuss the changes in the chat, get new people hyped about this channel, start growing the follower base, start growing the viewership, stuff like that, so that people can help me grow this channel as much as possible. Because I would love to see this channel grow along with all the other community. There we go. I have so many decks out there that I would love to put on my website as soon as it gets up. Put that out there. Alright. Alrighty then. Dragon X. Playing with Boulder. Is that Boulder? Play 2 fire cards in 1 turn, deal 1 damage to your target. I don't see a whole lot of people playing these types of hero cards, so it's really cool to see these guys in play. Flame Bat? Sure. Now it also looks like we're going against someone who's also very aggressive. Ambush work. Wow. Okay. Kind of a bad start. Now, for all I know, this is not the best way to build Grimus. Grimus wants to be a more mid-rangey style deck. Really get those boards or buffs consistently on the board. Track them. Man. Going against heavy aggro is just painful right now. So, I mean, this is just the first attempt. I thought I'd try aggro with him first. Really make it so that my buffs cannot be removed. Could be the wrong route. Maybe I really want to go mid-range, really focus... Really? Like, I mean, yeah, I can remove this stuff. But maybe I want to focus on, like I said, the whole... Playing more the undead aspect. Running those things where, you know, restart my undead buffs. All that stuff with him for the poison. Because, I mean, he's really only going to get benefit in this if I have a board of consistent buffs out right now. How am I being so unlucky? I mean, yeah, great draws for these Shadow Puppets. But against a deck that looks like he's only running attack cards, I'm kind of in a big... Oh my god. Yeah, I'm kind of in a lot of trouble here. Where are all my poison buffs that I added in, huh? Where's all my poison damage cards? That's not gonna help me. Like, I don't want to just Shadow Puppet this, but at the same time, if I ever want to burst him for 10 next turn, I feel like I have to. I can put him down to 1, is the thing. Man, this stinks. I feel like I'm still gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. What? Okay, so Defiler's like a dead card. I have almost no buffs. Umbron Barkeep is feeling so dead. This is just a really bad draw, right? Like, this is horrible for me. What I think I am going to do, though, is I'm going to Shadow Puppet. Remove that. I mean, Burst of Venom is now only going to deal 8. Man, this is just horrible. another Shadow Puppet, so at least now the tempo swing is going to happen. Magmor, oh my god, oh, well, I got a Beast. I'm gonna confuse him and remove that. Awesome. Alright. Alright, I approve. Okay. Yeah. Take that. Man, this is just super sad. I have all defensive cards. All of my aggression is just gone. Well, I can do this. God, that is so bad. I think just healing. Moving some action cards back. Yeah, I think after seeing this, obviously this is a really bad draw, really bad debut. I do think that I'm going to want to build a more mid-rangey style deck with this. Try and go more the undead route. Another Molten Swimmer. I approve. I strongly approve. I mean, we still won, but like it felt super bad. It felt bad by the cut of our teeth. Yeah, I think I'm going to change this up just a little bit. That was horrendous. Oh my word. That just, I mean, we were drawing. A win is good. A win is always good. A win is always good, Delzo1. But I mean, like, I mean, I was having just some really bad draws, right? I drew all of my Shadow Puppets. I drew, like, all my control and tempo and none of my damage. I didn't draw Corrupted Spirits, my Putrid Infestations, my Spectral Widows. Like, none of this I really drew. I mean, even this Vile Brew Hexer does feel like a mid-range style card because it's not direct impact on the board. So, like, I felt like I was building this more mid-rangey, but, like, put a lot of core cards in here to be aggressive. Which I think is just really weird to say. Yeah, I mean, and in that sense... Hold on, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep this, in case for some reason it works. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to go in here, do some edits, make this feel a little bit more of a mid-rangey deck with the undeads. With the undeads. I think that's what I'm going to try and do. So Putrid Infestation we're going to take out. We're going to put in this Pestilent Specters. We'll take out one Umbrum Barkeep. Because we are going to want to add in, like, two Veil Riders if we can. Because now we have a lot more undead buffs. What other undead cards? Because we'll also probably want to put in some Corvida's Shades. To get that card draw. Which means that we probably actually don't want Barkeep if we're getting card draw with the Shade. We'll take these out. Put two of these in. I feel like Necro Dreadling is not going to help us too much, as opposed to just another Veil Rider. Mind you, like, the big turn is if we lay a Veil Rider, they get their buff benefit back. But if we can somehow keep our buffs on board for a long time, we're going to get great value out of it, is how I'm viewing that. Now I'm at 30 cards still. What am I at here? So I'm up to Shadow. I have a low on Death. What Death cards are there that maybe are interesting to add? I could Life Leecher. I could Soul Thief. I mean, I also feel like Defiler is just... It's going to be nice if I can keep my buffs on board. But if I have cards like Mantic Spitter, Witch Doctor, all this stuff, Defiler is not a consistent damage one. So I don't feel like it would do any really well in this deck. I think 3 just Venom Feeders really bring back the poison cards that I want is going to be good. The other thing is, I'm thinking like maybe Life Leecher is good. If we're playing more mid range, we want to put a little bit more control in there. It is 2 healing, 1 damage, so it's not really the only thing I'm really looking at is the enemy moves 1 card from their hand to their deck. Really slows them down. It might even be like, oh, I can't remove a whole lot of buffs. Maybe remove a buff removal, and then lay a Veil Rider, really mess up their play. But would I want to take anything out is the thing. Like I could Draga Hunter. It's not. It is a really good poison damaging buff, but it's not an undead, so it wouldn't get the most benefit from it. So I feel like running 2 Draga Hunters is fine. Which feels really weird to say because Draga Hunter is like really good poison buff. Maybe I actually only run 1 Mantic Spitter and 1 Witch Doctor. And I really focus on my board. Maybe that's what I do. Put back in that Draga Hunter. This feels a lot better in the mid-range. I have a lot more damage potential in this. Mind you, I'll probably still draw, like... Because those Unbound Barkeeps were just dead in my hand. I think having 3 of them in the deck was a little overkill, especially with stuff where I'm not laying them consistently. Corvida's Shade is more my card draw. If they want to remove it, they can. Otherwise, Veil Rider... Playing with these undead cards, I think, is going to be fine. Veil Rider being an undead card is going to help pay for Poison Spray and Toxic Haunt a lot better. Venom Feeder, like I said, is really situational, depending on what cards I want back. Yeah? I think this is fine. We will see. We will see what we have here. We'll try this one out. We'll try this one out. Like I said, I am more of a mid-range to control player. So this deck feels more my style. The aggression one, if I wanted to play really aggressive, I think that having those poison action cards as opposed to the... Really? The poison action cards for just straight up damage would be better for aggression. And in that case, you'd probably want to use someone else other than Grimus to really get benefit out of his ability. Where Grimus benefits from a larger board as opposed to just his poison supremacy. I think there's a lot of other heroes out there that run better poison supremacy stuff. Wow, starting with a big hand, huh? Well, this also could be someone who just is one of those like multi-action heal, draw cards, stuff like that we played the other day, where like, wow, okay. I feel like he is aggression if he's running that Umbra Marauder. I think we'll just draw 2. Not bad. Ooh. Ooh. Also, Astral. Can we just agree that Astral's probably one of the strongest alignments right now? Until they get rid of a lot of these cards like Shapeshifter, like Solar Wind, all these things that he literally is playing, Astral is just so dominant right now. Spectral Widow's awesome. Let's say, am I just dead? Man, he is just straight aggression. And I really don't think there's any way that I can win this anymore, because he's got me down so low, and I am not huge into bursting damage as he is. Like, I can do this and do for 10 and put him down to 15. I think laying this and a Mantic Spitter. Like, there's just starting with a large hand, getting such strong damage potential, and with me not having a whole lot of healing. Yep. It was just, it's not a good matchup for me. At least for this deck. Just gonna remove that one, sure. Do I Venom Feeder to bring back the other one? I don't think I do. Dan Brownhouse, hey Gresh, you finally got a chance to hop over. Super happy to finally see Grimes play. Thanks, man. Thanks for the viewership. And thanks for the follow. Hey, man, yeah, that was just a really bad matchup. That aggression was super hard to come back from. We'll try it again. We'll try it again. Astral, oh my god, Astral's just so strong, such explosive potential. Getting 6 on the first turn, then what did he? I think he did like 5 or something on the next turn. Yeah, he did with he drew a 10-point swing with Shapeshifter, so that was 11 damage, and then the turn afterwards was another 10. So dealing 21 damage over the first 3 turns. It's hard to come back from that. That was a perfect play-by-play-by-play. I was just like, wow. Here we go. Now this is what I'm talking about. I want to lay Pestilent Spectre first, because if I start drawing into stuff such as my Rider, Starhorn Tusker makes Grimes really scary too. If I splash Solar into this, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, if I right now I'm just going into sticking with Dread. I didn't even attempt to splash in different colors. Serious right now. Well, I think right now is the perfect time to lay Spectral Widow. It's going to penetrate through that whole thing. I'll just draw. Vilebreath Hexer against a Nature. I really got to play it because, like I said, Nature comes from... Is he going to remove the Widow? No, he's removing the Assassin. Okay. Yeah, Vilebreath Hexer against Nature is really difficult to play because a lot of their healing comes from their buffs. So, like, if I want to lay it appropriately, I have to put it down in accordance to his buff rotations for him to really get full benefit. Like a Stump Drift Shaman, I gotta play it like on the second corner so that when it rotates for 4, that's when he takes the damage. So I think holding it back is fine. Another Spectre Widow, another Vilebreath Hexer. Okay. Corvid Conspiracy. Yeah, I mean, right now, I'm just consistent applying pressure, drawing a card. I unfortunately don't have... Well, there's a Witch Doctor. That'll be nice. Yeah, I feel like this is now more the aggressive route, or aggressive route. And I'm not really drawing any of the cards that I want. Like, Poison Spray just feels dead because I don't have enough Shadow in the deck, so it's just a card that's going to pay for other combos. Dealing 6 damage to him right now doesn't feel all that good if I have nothing to back it up with, so I think just drawing... He's got a pretty small hand. There's a Veil Rider. Really wish I would have had that last turn. We can Draga Hunter next turn. And I guess just draw? Well, now we're not even going on Draga Hunter. Man, this is... the game where I need to draw Shadow Puppets and not drawing any. I mean, yeah, we got really nothing to do. Future Shaman's going to be a good one if I can get this Moss Witch down. I feel like just laying a Hexer down is fine. We've got him pretty low, so if he does want to try and heal, it'll take damage. This is also just card draw for us as well. So laying this right now is fine. If he wants to, like, you know, Reckless Spirit, he can. Next turn, I can... Oh, finally a Shadow Puppet. Next turn, I can Future Shaman into Draga Hunter. Really get some damage going. I have Witch Doctor for burst damage once Future Shaman sticks, if it does. Interesting. Wild Spirit. He must be playing... Okay. Tetra, did you just sub? Oh! Tetra, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub, man. Thank you. See, now I was going to take 2 when that rotates, which will be really nice. Draga Hunter down? Dude, thank you for the sub. I really appreciate that. I can't wait to check out your stream. I know you said, what, you're streaming in 2 hours? And you're going to be promoting the new Tyrannos deck? Is what you said in your stream? You're going to be promoting that one? Now, I can deal, what, 8 damage to him? I think I'll Shadow Puppet, make him so he can't heal. I probably want to just Witch Doctor away. I'd save my Hexer. Because like I said, he doesn't have burst healing. So, I won't have to worry about that. I have lethal on board. He's got to remove something. Yeah, I mean, really, he can only remove 1 buff. He's got to remove the Shaman, in which case I have the Draga Hunter for lethal next turn. In case he defends. Or unless he defends. But, yeah, dude, I can't wait. Obviously, I won't be able to watch it as you review it. But if it's a 12-hour stream, I'm definitely going to be hosting you after my stream. I'm going to go back and check that deck list out to really see what it's all about. I had 11 damage last turn. Oh, if I... Yeah, I could have used my Poison Spray, right? For 8? Well, yeah, 8, 9, 10. I guess I could have had lethal. I guess that's the thing, like, I'm one of those people that wants to consistently win, just like take damage. I'm very much a mid-game player. I don't play a whole lot of aggression, so I don't think about the spike damage unless that's what my deck is built around. So yeah, I think you're right. I could have won last turn with the Poison Spray. I subjugated that card as just being a dead card in my hand because I didn't have a whole lot of Shadow, but I finally had Shadow. So yeah, Better Self, you're completely right. I had lethal last turn. Yeah, I think we'll play a few more games of this, and then we'll go see if the deck really needs that much changing to it. But that one felt a lot more cleaner to me. That one felt a lot more just progressively poke damage. We did get through 2 Monstrous Defenders, I believe, that game. The Spectral Widows were just super nice for that, for just consistently getting damage through. He's so handsy. I feel like I'm being violated because of his hands. Alright, he could be playing Net Deck Sicario. We will find out together, won't we? I think actually what I want to do this turn is... Really? Aggro Sicario? I think it's Aggro Sicario. Wow. What an opener. But that kind of stinks. Yeah. Part of me wants to save the Shadow Puppet for closer to this turn, because if I do it now, he has less incentive to use this ability and draw 1 card, where I really want to hit him when his hand is low and he can't recover. Because if I remove both these now, his more incentive is to just say, okay, I don't have future draw potential. I need to spend my next few actions to just draw and build up my hand. Yes, it'll waste this damage and healing. But I'd really like to get the more aggressive standpoint, where I'd like his hand to be down while I still have card draw potential on board, and so does he. But I want to get as much potency out of this before I Shadow Puppet, is my thought process on that. So next turn I'll probably Shadow Puppet, remove this one and this one. I mean, if he lays a Tentacle down or something like that, that'd probably be a better one to remove too. Noxian Assassin, wow. Okay, cool. But I mean, now what he could do is he could use that ability this turn, and then have one card in hand for when I Shadow Puppet him. And then his next few turns are going to be dead. So I will take some of that mitigating damage perfectly fine to lead him into a falsehood of him not drawing 3 cards next turn. And then if this is a Shadow Puppet, it's a Shadow Puppet. But I will also draw 2 cards next turn. So I will put myself on the back burner of getting into the more, you know, upkeeping stuff. And I can even Witch Doctor right now for 6 damage with no drawback. Which I think I'll do. If I'm going to draw 2 cards next turn, I mean, he could Shadow Puppet, but he can only remove one of these. So I'll still have 3 damage on board. He'll draw 1, I'll draw 2. We'll kind of be back in the same mindset. But right now, we'll see what he does. See, now I draw 2 for free. Very nice. I think Spectral Widowing and passing is good. Venom Feeder. I could just save for Witch Doctor if I really need it for burst damage, but I'll save it in my hand for when I need it. Dragon Hunter's another good one for just 1 and 1 next turn. So I've got 5 damage on board. I think just really consistently applying the pressure. So like 1 card, 1 draw is fine right now. Another Venom Feeder. I might have to just use a Venom Feeder next turn. Bring back maybe just another Spectral Widow. Okay. Okay. Just kind of really help apply some of this pressure. Especially right now if he's just going to be Night Lurkering for 4 a turn. Me bringing back this to then lay. I'll have 4 damage on board. So he's got to heal because I have 4 damage plus 6 if I bring back the Witch Doctor. Shadow Puppet, okay. So he's got to kill one of... Okay. Because he can't remove 2. Grimus coming in handy. Grinds. Good old grinds. And that's it. These Venom Feeders. Clutch money. Guys, raise our drinks to beating a Sicario deck. Ooh, 1 more level and I got a fancy chest. How about that? Got myself a quest completion and I got myself a free bonus booster pack. I think we're gonna go ahead and open up some loot skis here. Nice booster. 2 rares. Ooh, that's some good shards for me right there. We'll just, actually, what were my missions? What are my missions for the day? Fire cards. That ain't happening. Storm cards. Well, we're playing Grimes right now, so I guess we'll get those done later. Tetra, here's to you, sir. Seems like a decent list. I mean, it worked. This is still classic format. I still feel like it's all just consistent pressure with the buffs. There's not a lot of card draw, so in this list, like, as weird as it feels, I may want to add back in some of those Umbron barkeeps. Because, like, that whole game it came down to me and him having, like, 2 cards in hand, and I just really wanted to consistently apply pressure. But yeah, those Venom Feeders in this deck is so good if you're that heavy on poison. Venom Feeder is super good in poison-heavy decks. Man, are we just that awesome? We can Corrupted Spirit into Spectral Widow. Mind you, Spectral Widow does not get increased, so Putrid Shaman with it, not that good of a turn. Praying for a lot of good poison buffs in Uprising. Dude, I'm praying for a lot of good everything in Uprising. It's only failed against Astral so far. Exactly. Astral, it's only failed against Astral in a very aggressive style of Astral, which, I mean, that one that I played against was ridiculously aggressive. Within the first 3 turns, I took 21 damage. Like, that is super aggro Astral. This seems to be a little more poison-oriented. Mind you guys, this is a beast. I am a super avid fan of, what's it called? What is his name? I'm looking it up right now so I don't get it wrong. The Crude Exterminator. I am an avid fan of Crude Exterminator. I think that card... I don't even look. What defense cards did I have? Oh, I had the Venom Feeder. That's what's going on. I was like, wait, what am I missing? What's going on here? I want to say just another Spectre Widow is fine, and then we pass. Or do we... I mean, he's probably going to lay Lunar next turn, so we're going to take 10. Right? But, I mean, if I don't draw... I'm hoping for more Umbron family cards for sure. Dude, I wish they would start... I'm not wishing. I'm pretty sure they're going to. They're going to start pumping out a whole lot more family cards to go along with Kindred. There's the Lunar card I was talking about. We have really no way to prevent that 10 damage. Kind of a bummer. Kind of a bummer. But, yeah, no, Umbrons. Umbrons, I feel, have only been the one where it's just, you know, the supporting class. They tried to make it Dread where you could really go heavy on the Umbrons, and I tried to build that deck. I crossed my fingers. I know I did bad, but, hey, man, I tried. I think I won 1 of 3 games that I played with it. This is just really bad. Like, we got to draw. We definitely need more card draw in here to keep playing buffs. I think I should go back in and add those barkeeps. I think those are good for this style of deck. And that's 10 damage. I mean, Astral's spike damage potential is just nuts. Yeah. So he's got a lot of cards in hand. What I would like to do here is Pestilent Spectre, Corvid of Shade, next turn Putrid Shaman draw. He's got a big hand, but laying these buffs down, like, it really makes me want to add in those Umbron Barkeeps for drawing. If I'm going to be laying 2 buffs a turn. Fretchian says, yes, I finally a live stream in time of the day that is possible for me to watch. Dude, Fretchian, thank you very much for joining into the channel today. Yeah, Saturdays are my really more earlier streams. My girlfriend, like, 9 times out of 10, picks up a shift at Starbucks as an opening. So she's at work at, like, 5 in the morning. So I'm like, you know what? If she's going to be gone until 2, I'm going to also wake up early. I'm going to stream for a good 6 hours. I do want sleep, so I'm not going to wake up at, like, 6. But, hey, man. My name is Jeff6969. I want to see cross-order cards that aren't heroes and combos. That could be interesting. That could be very interesting. You know? I'm trying to think of, like, how that would work. Like, if you did a cross-order card, like, for an action card, I feel like you'd have to make it be, like, Poison Astral instead of just going full Dread, or Poison, like, Gravity, instead of full Dread Astral. So, like, they could be used across different, alignments as opposed to different orders, if I'm getting those terms correct. Because, like, I feel like if you did just have action cards like that, those would be more potent than unaligned cards. Because you could splash them into really any Dread or any Astro deck and use them cross-order-wise that way. But I feel like that would be the way to go if you were to make action cards that fit that style, is to go a more like Gravity, Poison, is to just be very strict on the ones that you want to use them with. Do I ever cover this shade here? I think yes, because I'm going to potentially draw 2 cards next turn. So just being aggressive on my board if possible is the best way to go. Witch Doctor, I could deal 6. I have no action cards in my hand. Actually, it would deal 8. I could... Well, no, because next turn I'm going to be drawing 2, so I'll have to discard a card anyway. I think now is actually the best time to do it. Because next turn I'm going to deal 6. Depending on what I draw. So now he's really got to heal. Because he's going to be at 1. I'm going to draw 2 cards. Playable by 2 alignments or used for either combo. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's... Hey guys, Astral Spike damage is insane right now. Have I said that? Well, I applied the pressure. I did the best I could. But yeah, I feel like this deck, now after playing it a little bit, needs those barkeeps. It needs them somewhere. It needs them somewhere. Life Leecher I felt was just a dead card. We never even drew it. We didn't need it. Crude Exterminator, as much as I love this thing, I don't care that much about his buffs on board to be the controlling matchup. I care about me establishing a strong board presence and really drawing cards is really what I want to do. Yeah, I feel like Crude Exterminator is a much more controlly card, or even a side deck card if you bring it to a tournament. But in this, it's just... I didn't care about his buffs. I can't win an aggro against Astro. No. Dread, I mean, Dread... We have burst damage in our combos. But this deck is not set up to win an aggro match against Astral. It's just... It's possibly one of the worst matchups that I'll come across. That and Aggro Mountain could be very difficult too. But I am a very, like... I'll race you down with my board. I want to get the best value out of my board as I can with Grimus, is what this deck is around. But yeah, I mean, right now, especially with the format not changing out yet, it's really hard to go against anything that's straight attack aggro. Because that's where all the burst damage comes from, is the 6 damage attack cards. The 16 damage potential combo cards. Like, all those really good spike damaging cards really leads into the non-classic format aggro-style decks just being super powerful. Just super powerful. That, playing the board-wise is really only, I'd say even viable if you're playing a much more control-y style aspect, like Sicario, like Arkmoss, where you're playing the board to stay alive, to heal support, and go into the late game for when aggro runs out of steam, aggro's blown all of its spike damage, stuff like that, and you've healed back up. That's where I feel your board state will come in. And right now, the mid-game range for decks like this is probably the weakest it's going to be until either Uprising comes out or until the new Classic format comes out. And then we can go into how mid-range is going to... Its playability is going to bump up because of all the stuff that's leaving for aggro. Aggro tech is good, but combining some of these for an aggro deck is OP. Yeah, I mean, it's just... I could... If I were to build a Dread aggro deck, I probably wouldn't use Grimes. I'd probably use someone else. But right now I was tasked to build a Grimes deck. I think if I were to build a more poised-oriented deck, I might... build a Venom Weaver Archon. I can't wield items, boo-hoo. But it reduces my health when I'm below 15. So right there, that'll cut out a lot of healing that I'll need to take. Yeah, Nemi. No, Nemi's a really good one. Nemi's really good for burst potential because it also runs Storm. And Storm just has some insane burst potential cards too. So yeah, aggro burst Nemi is really good, especially with her ability if you lay a poison combo to rotate your stuff forward. Like being able to rotate. Toxic Frog was really good in Nemi. You're able to rotate a Draga Hunter, rotate it a whole bunch. If you can get your Putrid Shaman stuck on board, it's just... There's so much potential with Nemi. Right now, the change is going to like nerf Putrid Shaman or kill it, so it's going to be a lot more difficult to do. But yeah, I mean, her burst potential playstyle is really fun. Bitter Cell, I really don't know why they banned the 12 damage cost 3 Storm combo. Planetary Alignment is the same. It is the same and it's not, only because of the combo payments. The combo payments for Electrified Deluge is 2 lightning, 1 water, I believe. So you can play that in a very heavy lightning deck. You can say it's the same card in the sense that it does the same thing, but for what they're doing for like rotation purposes, they really stuck to the more combo payments. They wanted to stick with one of each alignment, which is the ones that were staying, which is why Crushing Blow and Tantosian, Stream of Tantos are staying in. Planetary Alignment and Gravity Bubble are staying in. All the stuff that was one of each is staying in. It just happens to be that Planetary Alignment was their big 12 damage, and Electrified Deluge was not. Storm does have a lot easier time to pay for combos. It really does. It 100% does. So we're going against Storm. Wow, he's already got Nature. What did he... Oh, okay, just... I mean, I think... Just a Corrupted Spirit here is fine. Yeah. Dude, do it, Fretchian. Go make yourself an Nemi aggro deck. This is interesting. I don't see this card being run a whole lot either. Is he? I mean, he's got to be aggro, right? What's his ability? One of my air buffs leaves play. Okay. I think right now, with how aggro he is, laying Venom Veins is going to be really nice for me. Because, I mean, if he's just going to attack me the whole time, I'll have him start taking damage with me while I'll, like, just draw and build up my board presence. Venom Feeder could be good if I want to get back something else. I feel like Vilebrew Hexer is going to be good late game because he... Storm does have a lot of really heavy burst heal, like Vitalizing Frog heals for 6, so it's 6 damage to him. Currently making an Astral... I think he meant Tech. Astral Tech deck with buff manipulation. Up to 22 damage a turn with combos. Yeah, I mean, like, there's so much damage potential. It's insane. I think a Pestilent Spectre is fine. And I honestly think right now, laying the Hexer is good too. Mind you, he could be all aggro, but laying it now when I have all this damage on board for him to drop below low, wanting to get that to its clunky corner as soon as possible is the right play. Next turn I can just draw 2. Which one's here moving? Probably the combo. That would be my guess. I mean, he can't remove them all. He can't remove them all. That, my friends, is a perfect matchup for Grimes. When he wants to Living Whirlpool and wipe out a whole board of buffs, and I'm like, no, 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 no. You can't touch me. You can't touch me, yo. Oh, he's also running Root Singer. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, man. Grimus paying off in a big way. And now he's got 1 card in hand. I can draw 2. I can get back into this. Really? Witch Doctor with 2 Venom Feeders? Come on. My Venom Feeder is supposed to bring back the Witch Doctor. I think actually just... I think just Venom Feedering to bring back the Draga Hunter is fine. Right now, with the Witch Doctor in hand, I'm going to utilize the Venom Feeders to bring cards back that I can play immediately, so that when it comes down to laying my Witch Doctor, my Venom Feeder, or I'll basically have no hand when it comes down to 6 damage. I do have this, so if he tries to heal, which in Storm is going to be a big heal for 6, or he can heal for like 3, with like a Delivery Cab or a Heroic Starfish, all that stuff. In all honesty, I don't think I want... Well, no, actually, if I Venom Feeder Corrupted Spirit for 3, he'll take 2 next turn, 6. Yeah, I think I'll put him on lethal. The thing is, like, in this deck, Veil Rider, nice panel suit. Thank you! Thank you! Did we just go for, Chain Lightning? Okay. Oh, a combo was on top. Nice. So did 14. Thank you very much. If you guys didn't, I will check it. I will upload it to YouTube later today. A lot of really big things are coming to the future of this stream. So stay tuned for them. I have a whole list of things that I'm working on right now. The Veil Riders seem really bad in this deck now, don't they? Like, if I have card draw and consistent buffs out, I think Veil Riders are just dead cards. I don't think I want to go the undead aspect anymore. Because I never was able to lay them, never was able to do anything with them. So I think the 2 Veil Riders can come out, which then also means that Pestilent Spectre can go bye-bye, and I can put back in the better one, the Putrid Infestation. I think I can put those back in. We'll go back into the Shadow, see what I can really use for Shadow to make it worthwhile. Maybe just a Blood Pact Redeemer. It's 4 damage. Really helps apply pressure if I want to deal damage to him. And right now I'm being very aggressive. So I won't even utilize those to bring my combos back because I really haven't laid any of my combos. So I'll just utilize it as 4 damage. And 4 damage with Naxxon. Umbran House, thank you! Thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I appreciate it, man. A lot of big things are coming, man. A lot of big things are coming this way. So stay tuned, everyone. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. All this is coming back mutual. Mutual, man. What you give to me, I will give back to you tenfold. That is my I guess not money back guarantee because it's all free. My love and affection mutually returned guaranteed. Gotcha. Gotcha, guys. So yeah, I think just adding in that 4 damage is going to be a lot better for me here. Necro Dreadling I don't need because I never needed to get stuff back into my deck. The Venom Feeders are way better at getting stuff back into my hand. We could see what other death things we have. Because, I mean, those Venom Feeders were clutch. Which means I'll be using them a whole lot. Man, like... yeah, I feel like this is fine. I wish there was, like, more ways to draw cards with this, you know? I could put in an Umbra and Terror Guard, but I felt like if I'm below 10 and I draw this card, it's good, otherwise it's a dead card, and this deck needs to be more proactive. The only other card is like Life Leecher, but I don't feel like it's that beneficial to me. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of... Meh. My name is Jeff Sense. Do you think we will see a best of 3 for our online games? In all honesty, I don't think the online format is possibly set up for a best of 3. I think if they do online tournaments, I really hope they do online tournaments and stuff like that. It would be really fun to do a best of 3. And if they did that, it would have to be... what was the format they used at the U.S. Nationals, where you brought 3 decks with no sideboards? I think that would be a really good format for online to play, because it's really difficult to determine what's your sideboard in an online matchup. Hammer House, boo, had no idea you had one, haha. I will definitely send people your way. I saw you have campaign coverage on the YouTube channel, and the community definitely has been asking. Dude, I don't know what... Oh, you said bro. I thought you said boo. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I thought you were like, what is the boo for? What did I do? But yeah, bro. No, yeah, dude. Thank you very much for the support. I'm really happy. A lot of people say like, yeah, man, these campaigns are really difficult. Dude, I am the campaign master. I love going through the campaigns. What I usually try to do is try and make a thematic way to beat it. So I'm not going for the best way to beat it. If you want me to do that, I'll definitely do that. The best way to beat him and whatnot. But yeah, I was just going like, all right, how can I beat this the way that the developers were thinking how to beat it? So have fun with those. I thoroughly enjoyed making them. I hope you guys had a fun time watching them. But back to my name, Jeff. I don't think outside of like actual online tournaments they'll have a best of 3 for online games. Just because right now the player base still needs to grow to get to that point where we can have a best of 3. And really, in almost any other online game that isn't tournament format, I don't think they have a best of 3. Even in the Magic Arena, they have their online tournament format, where it's literally, if you want to join that tournament style, it's a best of 3 style. So you would have to go in knowing that you're playing a best of 3. Once the game comes to Steam, now it's on Switch, now it's coming to Steam, basically anything that you're bringing outside of the phone, where you can sit down and you plan on sitting down and playing for a few hours, I think that'd be a great format to introduce into the game. But outside of that, I think another format, which I am a very strong advocate for, because I only get to play it like once in a blue moon, is, since it's on your phone, since it's a mobile device thing, make events. Kind of like how Hearthstone has fireside gatherings, where you can go to local events, go to local gatherings, and find a way to make multiplayer a thing in this game. Find a way to make it happen. Because they have a lot of really fun multiplayer use cards that you really only get to play physically, and I don't even know if any people knows multiplayer format. But I built a deck that I literally just call Smallpox. That's for multiplayer specifically, because every single card in there that damages says to other players and not to target or to enemy. So like the entire deck just globally affects the board. And I've played it once. And the moment I did, everyone's just like, wait, why are we all taking damage? And I was just like, oh, I don't know. And everyone just targeted me and I died. But it was the most fun I had building a deck, just thinking of that theme. I thought it was so much fun. Back into this, I honestly don't think I really want to do... I mean, I could have added in Soul Thieves for 2 damage, 4 healing, but I feel like the Venom Feeders are fine for the healing. Vilebreath Hexer, like this seems like a very tempo aggro style. Soul Thief, I really wish there was something that drew me a card in Dread. I really wish there was. Or not Dread, Death. Like, yeah, Life Leecher, I could add Life Leecher in here. I don't know what I would take out for it, honestly. I mean, Witch Doctor has been clutch. Mantic Spitter, like, I've never even really got to lay this card. I've never got to lay it. Maybe I take a Mantic Spitter out. Witch Doctor's just been... I need more burst damage for Venom Feeder to bring back. Maybe Corrupted Spirit, I can drop that down to 2, put in a second Mantic Spitter for 5 damage. The Hexers are nice, right? The Hexers are nice. It's a consistent buff to stay on board. Really prevents my opponent from healing when I'm trying to knock them down. Yeah, I think this is fine. I don't have a lot of death cards. The ones that I do are Venom Feeders that I want to bring back. Once again, this is not a deck to play for combos at all. This is a deck where you play, you win with action cards. Venom Veins is probably the best one you're going to lay. Burst of Venom, otherwise all these other ones are like, I'm never going to see him play. At all. Ever. I could go into the combos and see if there's just better ones to pay for payment. Usually if you're playing your combos for payment, you want them like all 4, so they can pay for each other no matter what. Time to Ring Commander style format. 2 heroes, 10 combos, 70 card decks. Oh my god. I mean, there's so much potential to do with this game. It's great. Yeah, I mean, this is what you do. You go to the Discord channel. You go into PlayFusion Feedback. You give them your ideas. They will listen to you. I can almost 100% guarantee they will listen to you. This is a very, very good community about listening to feedback, taking into suggestions what everyone wants to play, and trying to help the community just grow that way. So I think it's a very, very strong possibility to add that in there. So, that being said, like, do I want to go in and add just like 4 cost combos so the combos can pay for each other? Do I ever put in Obfuscation or Contamination over these 2, since these ones were like never played? I really don't feel like I do. In all honesty, I really don't feel like I do. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. I could... I mean, Breach the Veil is also another one that's almost never going to be played either. Let's just... I mean, now that I've added card draw, we'll see what cards we're holding on to. Amplification Hex could be a really good one in this deck, too. Could be. Maybe we just take Crippling Toxin out and we add an Amplification Hex. That way Poison Spray, Toxicant, all that stuff can pay for it. Because Crippling Toxin, mind you, is a card that's being retired. I'm not sure if Amplification... I think Amplification Hex is also as well. Now that I think about it. I think that was one that was getting retired. Yeah, it's one that's getting retired. So taking that out, adding in Amplification Hex. In this style of deck, I think it'd be really good with a majority of all my damage coming from my buffs. So increase the rotation values of my other buffs by rotation, like 3 and 4. That's going to be some really sick damage if I can play that. And with this lineup of combos, I think it's very, very possible of doing that. So I think that was a good change. Yeah, because now Burst of Venom and or Poison Spray are my burst damage. Tempo swing. Combo that I almost will never be able to play, but if I do, it's awesome. Alright. Alright, I think we're on to something. Let's go back and play a little bit more of this casual. I think after this game, I'm going to give like a 30-second break, go refill my water. It's like almost gone. I've been talking quite a bit because I love the sound of my own voice. For all you that have muted me, for all you that didn't, you can laugh at that. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves, community. All right. I think the person that asked me, or asked on Discord, Grandpa Socks, I think was the one that asked about it in the Bugs channel. Yeah, Grandpa Socks. Hey man, if you're watching, this one's for you. This one's for you, man. Ooh, wow, we get to start high pressure. What does this guy do? I've never even seen this guy. May only contain 4 combo cards. Interesting. Helps thin his deck out. I can see that being a benefit to more of those decks where you really want to just win with your action cards. Kind of like this deck. Starting with 2 Shadow Puppets in hand is a perfect way to just let this go against Nature where they're very buff heavy. Right now, laying both those buffs. Yes! Lay another one. Lay another one. Please. Lay another one. I want you to. That's going to draw you a card. You know you want to lay a second one. You're looking at... No! I mean... Is it worth it to Shadow Puppet? I want to say I'll let him draw 1 card. I don't have a whole lot of pressure. I did dump my hand. I think now is a bad time to overextend. I'll pray he lays a second buff. And then I can get better value out of the Shadow Puppet. It is Nature, so there's a strong possibility that he will. That is, oh, so good for me. Yes, your card draw is gone. It is done. And a Sippin' Queen. And a Sippin' Queen. Now, for many of you who don't know, I'm a big advocate of insects. This is not a card to lay early. This is not a card to lay early game. This is a card to lay after you know your opponent has wasted all their buff removal. It's a card you hold in your hand or pay for payments and lay it near the end of the game when it's like, hey, now my deck is out. Because this will do nothing until you have no deck. So this is a dead card for early game. I do like the aspect that he's laying it in this deck where his deck is thinned by 1 card. He's laying a lot of card draw in it too. Probably should have drawn first, but I just felt like... Oh, that's such a good one to lay next turn. Mind you, I won't have many buffs, so maybe I'll hold on to it. If he's just pass drawing, I'll pass draw. But yeah, Sippin' Queen, I love that card to death. I think it's an amazing card to have. But at the same time, it's not a card to lay early. If you want to be real strategic about it. Oakwood Defender, okay. Because it does have burn. So if they remove it, you cannot get it back. And a Pollen Weaver, are you serious right now? How much damage prevention are you doing? Well, I mean, laying an Auction Assassin, just getting it out there now, and then just drawing, I think is fine. The Shadow Puppet, okay. We're just sitting in a really bad spot right now because we have nothing to advance our board. We have nothing to be like, hey man, check it out. We're consistently applying pressure. We don't even really want a Hexer right now because he could just lay a Stump Drift Shaman, heal for 1. It'll do us nothing. Shadow Puppet, like I don't even feel like I need to Shadow Puppet any of these yet. Like this is just... Okay. Okay. So... Yes, Draga Hunter will help tick that down. Depending on what he does here. And I guess nothing. Okay, cool. So I think maybe just Spectral Widow, Draga Hunter is fine. Really start reestablishing our own board presence here. I'll start taking this away. In a deck like this where we have a lot of poke damage, this is not the best one to go against us. Monstrous Defender is obviously the stronger one. So I feel like just 2 for 2ing is fine. The Pollen Weaver is going to be a little more difficult to deal with later. I think we just pass draw again. That'll help. Umbron Barkeep's going to get good value. He's been drawing a lot of cards. I almost want to say he's trying to just get to empty deck so he can bring back his insect cards. Feast and Mosquitoes. I like it. I like it a lot. Stump Drift Shaman. Okay, guys. Okay. See, now this is a good turn. This is a good turn. Because I'm going to Corvus Shade. And then Vile Breath Hexer. Now, next turn, he'll heal for 2. Then it'll rotate. Then he'll take 4 damage. That's why it's good. If he wants to waste his buff removal on all my buffs are poison. A Blacksmith. He's running Shade. If he's running it for, like, more buff removal, I don't see him using a whole lot of abilities. So I don't think he's running, like, the Tentacle package. Monstrous Defender. That's one that I would love to Shadow Puppet. Shadow Puppet this and the Pollen Weaver. Blood Pact Redeemer. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, Shadow Puppeting this one, and this one is good. I can now Umbron Barkeep to heal for 2, draw 2. Really get my board presence established here. Yeah, guys. I'm sorry, you don't get to heal. And then I'll draw a card off of it. Yeah, Vilebrew Hexer is a really... yeah, seriously, what if he's running Blood Pact Redeemer? He hasn't laid a single combo, so I don't know if he's just using it for 4 damage. Fretchian, I'm sticking here till 2 o'clock, man. You're fine. You take care of you. I wanna also lay this card. I'll draw 2 cards next turn. Hopefully I lay another buff to lay with Putrid Shaman. Because this one, as I'm a very strong advocate, this one cannot be increased with Putrid Shaman. But yeah, I'm very interested to why he's run Shadow. Feasting Mosquitoes, okay. Because Shadow isn't even the one that runs insects. Oh, he's going to be super upset when I Shadow Puppet that, isn't he? He is. He's going to be very upset. Sorry, dude. But not sorry at all. So I have 3 damage on board. I'm going to do this. I mean, he's got to heal. He doesn't... Nature, like I said, Nature does not have burst healing. Nature does not have burst healing outside of Spore Feeder. But they need to build up a board to burst heal. So I feel like my best matchup of all is Dread against Nature. Dread against Nature, hands down, my easiest matchup. Because my poke damage is much more consistent compared to their healing. Alright, guys, give me like 30 seconds to refill my water bottle, maybe even replace it, put this one back in the fridge. I will be right back. Please don't go anywhere. We'll probably play a few more games with this Grimes deck, and then we'll switch to something else. We'll do something else. So one sec, guys.